Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about doing a three-digit addition without regrouping, and the strategy we're going to be focusing on today is using a number line. So we have used a number line, especially with looking at 0 through 20 and practicing our fluency and adding and subtracting, for example, 15 plus 3 or 20 minus 8. Well, we can extend that to use a number line to give us a visual representation of the problem. So instead of having all the little markings for each number, we are going to be looking at the number line as kind of a whole entity to give us a visual model to help us solve this problem. So when we're looking at our addition, we are going to start with a larger number on our number line, and then we are going to focus on just adding 122. So the first step we need to do is break that number into expanded form. So there is 100, 2 tens, 2 ones. So 100 is the value is 100, 2 tens is 20, 2 ones is 2. This is what we are going to be displaying on our number line. So again, we start with 356, and then we're going to be looking at adding our 100. So each time we make a jump on our number line, it should match the amount that we're adding. So in the case of 100, that would be a bigger jump than 20 would. So let's see what that looks like. All right, so our first jump is we are adding 100. And notice I've already started setting up the lines on my number line just to kind of give me a visual of where I'm going to end up. And my 100 jump is a lot larger than these other little pieces. So 456 plus 100, I'm only adding to the hundreds. I'm not changing anything else. I don't have any tens, or any ones, so I'm just adding to the hundreds. So I have one more 100, that's 400, 456. Our next step is to add one of the 10s. So 20 is made out of 2 10s, so we're going to do 2 jumps of 10. So now I'm not changing my hundreds, I'm only changing my 10s, not changing my ones. So I'm going to be looking at the hundreds place to make that change. So 456, one more jump, 466. Again, only my 10s is changing. And that's going to happen again for the second 10. Another group of 10, I made my second jump because 2 10s equals 20 from our expanded form. And now again, my 10 spot is the only spot that's changing. 476 is where we find ourselves. Again, my hundreds haven't changed, my ones did not change. Now that we've made those 2 jumps, we need to look at our ones. We're going to make 2 jumps of 1. And again, notice that our jumps are getting smaller and smaller. 1 plus 1, we're only changing our ones column, so 476, one more would be 477. And then one more jump is 478. So our sum is 478. Now we did not do this regrouping, but we're just practicing this to give us a visual. So again, it's more of a picture that you're creating in your mind, but it should mark the amount. So 100 is a larger jump, 10 a little bit smaller, and 1 a little bit smaller after that. It's really utilizing our strategies to break down the number and to better have an understanding of how we can add those numbers to get to our sum. All right, so what we are going to do is work with our art teacher to create an image that incorporates the number line. So looking at 3-digit and addition and subtraction, again, this is the number line I talked about earlier. These are some images that incorporated the number line, and they're marking, there's different buildings on different pieces of the number line. There are different ways that you obviously can do this, and our teacher will go into that more in depth with you. I made a sample of what that could look like. So if we're looking at our image, I started with 356 and I made the jump. So I used this it's supposed to be like a bridge. So my first jump lands at 456, and that is the length of this building. My second jump, my next 2 jumps of 10 are marked by the bridge as well as these 2 buildings. And notice the spaces are getting smaller. We have 2 little jumps in our bridge and 2 smaller buildings. There are other ways to do this. Miss Smith might have you mark them on a number line to order to understand your number line concepts, but this is a way that we can incorporate art into math to better develop our understanding so we can understand the spatial estimates and things like that, as well as allow our creative juices to flow. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let us know.